Breaking news tonight out of Orange County, where investigators say a Christmas family feud has turned deadly. About 30,000 people inside the stadium, including some very young fans who hope to someday play on a field like the one behind me. New video shows the moment when a Seminole County native almost died while trying to help a woman he'd never even met. Right now, the Powerball jackpot stands at a whopping $500 million, making it the hottest ticket in town and across the country. Jeb Bush began that town hall meeting just after 3 o'clock this afternoon, at the end of a very busy day. He began in Hialeah in Miami, and then he went to West Palm and ended up here in Ocala. And Disney's Very Merry Christmas Party has officially begun here at Walt Disney World at the Magic Kingdom. This year's theme is Frozen, the #1 animated movie of all time. And we are following breaking news right now in Colorado, where 4 police officers were shot in an attack near a Planned Parenthood clinic, and the gunman is still on the run. Those 2 Kenyan sand boas are now back safe and sound here at Pet Bazaar. You can take a look. Here they are. 1 Kenyan sand boa, as well as 8 other snakes and 2 bearded dragons still missing. A successful launch just a few minutes ago from the Atlas V rocket. Now there is another launch that is planned for very early, around 1:20 Tuesday morning, that being a Falcon 9 rocket.
Sherry from Dowagiac wants to know the first person you ever made laugh that you remember.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
No. I caught myself.
Yeah. I was like...
And tickets for the Electric Daisy Festival are definitely not cheap. A 2-day pass is about $170. Movie producer Quentin Tarantino is not getting any slack from local police officers. This comes after comments he made at a protest against police violence towards African Americans in October. News 13's Flagler County reporter Brittany Jones shows us how former officers in Palm Coast are making their voices heard. Sandra, Mike Kennedy says his animals are not pets. He's never looked at them as pets. He has permits for all of them, and that includes the 8-foot-long king cobra that escaped from its enclosure about 2.5 weeks ago that could be in the woods behind me.
And it's taken away, it's put a negative twist on all the good work we do here.
For the first time, Michael Kennedy is going on camera talking about the king cobra that escaped from its enclosure more than 2 weeks ago off north of Popka Vineland Road in western Orange County. Kennedy is a zoologist who has scientific collection and research permits and often finds himself taking in injured or sick animals people don't know what to do with, including venomous snakes.
Most of the animals we have here are rescues. I've picked them up for law enforcement. I've got snakes that came from Winter Park PD, Windermere Fire Department.
Recent storms created water damage in Kennedy's garage, where he houses about a dozen snakes, including other cobras, all in locked cages.
When the water got in there, it caused it to expand just enough and get soggy enough that the snake was able to, I mean, just a very small area, but it doesn't take much for a snake, to work that screen loose and came out the side.
He returned from a trip and realized the snake was gone, and that's when the search immediately began.
I emptied this building, everything, opened toolbox drawers up at the attic. I mean, hours and hours and hours, and virtually all night. And it wasn't the next day till I called it in, but as soon as I realized, man, he's not here, I got to report this, I called it in.
Because snakes are masterful at escaping, Kennedy said he had only 2 options on what to do next.
I know half a dozen snakes that people have lost, and many of them were monocle cobras that they never said a word. But I can't do that. It'd just be the wrong thing to do, and it's too important what I'm doing. I have to be straight up and legal, so I was, and I've taken a lot of heat for it.
Don't get mad at me.
In addition to the snakes, Kennedy has a leopard, as well as several alligators and crocodiles on the 5-acre property known as Dragon Ranch.
There you go, buddy.
All animals who needed a second home. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission has set up traps for the missing cobra, but knows finding a missing snake, even an 8-foot king cobra, could be next to impossible.
Of course, my primary concern is that nobody gets hurt. I mean, the chances of that animal hurting somebody are extremely remote. These woods are full of rattlesnakes, water moccasins, coral snakes. You know, he's just another snake out there. He's fast, agile. He sees you coming long before you ever see him, and he's out of your way. He just wants to stay hidden.
Now, Kennedy says the next few months may be difficult to actually finding that snake because the weather is getting much colder. It might be difficult for that snake to survive. If you do see that king cobra, you are urged not to approach it, but call 911 immediately. Reporting live in Apopka, Joel Schipper, News 13. The sounds of spring training for boys and girls of the South Orange Little League. A season already proving to be tough even before it begins, after nearly $25,000 was withdrawn from the league's bank account over the last 6 months. The league's board believes a now former board member is responsible.
It was taken away from not only all the volunteers, but the kids of South Orange.
Bank accounts show money being taken out from $100 to $3,000 at a time, and transactions at non-Little League locations and events like Dave & Buster's, the Ale House, and even Rent-A-Center.
The amount and how fast and what happened, I'm beside myself. Home plate! First base!
Because the league now can't pay for uniforms or required equipment upgrades, parents have pulled their kids out. A league that usually has 350 players now has half that for the season, one that's already had practices delayed.
So we have to keep the equipment up to date, the fields, the lighting, the concession, to stock the concession stand so that we can still go ahead and make more money, to go ahead and cover all the expenses that they have.
4th, 5th, 6th, that's your batting order.
Coaches say the kids are the ones striking out because of this.
I've been in baseball many years, and this was about as low of a blow as I've ever seen.
Organizers pushed the season opener to Saturday. Already behind other leagues, but coaches say they'll do their best to make sure the financial issues don't interfere with young players' passion for the game.
We're back. We're going to be strong. It may take us a spring, it may take us a fall to do that. We are going to come back stronger than ever, and hopefully they'll all come back.
Now, the Orange County Sheriff's Office is currently investigating this case.
In a few block radius in Chicago's Grant Park this weekend, you have your share of African food: Chinese, Middle Eastern, Vietnamese, Polish, Irish, vegan, Mexican, and Latin Indian fusion, just to name a few. With hundreds of thousands of people to attend over the nearly 2-week period, we decided to get here early, right when the gates open. After buying our tickets sold in strips of 12 for $8, it was time to start chowing down.
Taste of Chicago has officially started. Where to first? 60 restaurants. Why not start off with dessert? We're going to head over to Eli's Cheesecake.
At each restaurant, you can get full orders or taste portions, which are good-sized samples of some of the most popular dishes. Even the pickiest of eaters can find something. You won't have a shortage of caloric consumption at this festival. Here, all diets are off.
We're looking for cheese fries and Italian ice. It's really good. We've had the tacos right here, and we had bratwurst sausage.
Garrett's Popcorn is a Chicago institution.
Come get a popcorn, Nicole.
It offered me something I couldn't resist: popcorn dipped in caramel and liquid nitrogen.
Do it. It's delicious. Open your mouth. There you go.
It's like college.
We thought it'd be a great treat for the summertime. Taste of Chicago, frozen treat, something a little different from the ordinary. So we just dip it in there for about 3 or 4 seconds, and it instantly freezes our popcorn.
We found some ladies from Michiana who make the taste a rite of passage every year.
Sweet potato fries. We have
Kebabs. We had the grilled chicken kebab, which is really good with the chimichurri.
And they come prepared.
We have a map.
And we do that, and we plot them every year about where we want to stop.
Yeah, some folks do stop to eat, but others perfect their skills of walking and snacking, especially with some of the taste's most popular items like corn on the cob dipped in butter, or the ginormous plate of potato chips from Harry Carey's, freshly peeled with the help of a household power drill.
Is that enough?
Wow. I think we got enough, yeah.
Being in the Windy City at Harry Carey's, I just couldn't help myself.
Let me hear your best Harry Carey impression.
I don't know if I,
Cubs win! Cubs win!
Holy cow! Cubs win! Cubs win!
Chicago Jones is hot to go! Say what? What?
A classic Chicago dog or the city's famous pizza is never more than a few steps away, as is plenty of ice cream, deep-fried ravioli, turkey legs the size of bowling pins, or killer chicken kebabs.
We try like 30 different items when we come here.
It's kind of like a giant tapas bar.
Yeah, it is. It's like a huge buffet.
A buffet with no shortage of options, be it a full plate or just a taste.